So, hey guys, welcome to the Journey Cast, whatever episode it is. I truly have no idea at this point. Literally no clue. But today I'm really excited because we're joined by some good friends. We got Bill over here, BillTheConqueror. We got RottRavve. And at some point, maybe we'll have Ashes join us. Who knows? It's a mystery at this point. So what's everybody doing this week? How are y'all? What's been going on?
I just gotta say, life is good, and I'm also very excited because I saw a tweet that Phasmophobia has an update coming, and I'm excited.
Really?
Phasmophobia has an update.
Okay.
And I want to get Rot, and I want to get JourneyJohn, and I want to get Anubis Valor. Get the four of us together.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Because
Let's do it.
Because that was honestly the most fun that I've ever had playing that game. So.
Oh man.
I am down to play some more Phasmo.
Yeah.
We've
Oh,
played
yeah.
a little bit off and on the last couple weeks. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it? What's in the new update? Is it gonna be like a new map or something?
We need to find this real quick.
Okay. What about you, Rut? How are you doing this morning?
I haven't been to bed yet.
You haven't been to bed yet? Holy shit.
No.
Crap. Wow.
I laid in bed for about three and a half hours. Then I looked at my clock. I was like, I might as well stay up. Let's try it. I gave it a good old try.
Well, I appreciate the effort. So.
Yeah. My backup plan was ready in case I did fall asleep, so it was that.
Oh man. All right. So what do you got, Bill?
So they've changed some of the sound settings.
I need to stop the music.
Yeah. So you can place a candle similar to the ghostwriting book in non VR. Remove the new lighting in school, asylum, and prison due to bugs. Moves arrows in the server. Prison will no longer always be added to the contract selection. On professional difficulty, you will no longer be told if the ghost responds to groups or responds to you in a group or if you're by yourself.
Huh.
The ghost will now
more fun.
Yeah, that'll be insane. The ghost will now walk to your last known location when it has lost sight of you when hunting. This means the ghost will now follow you around corners.
Oh no. I guess we'll just have to keep walking then.
Yeah, keep going, keep running.
That's an issue on the small maps for sure.
Yeah.
Very much
Yeah.
so. It fixed a bug where the ghost room boundary from both cell blocks were extended to the bathroom and the hallway. That's interesting. Potential fix for the ghost photos not always registering. Okay. Yeah.
So it's like a bunch of quality of life improvements, sounds like.
Yeah, so yes, I'm excited for that. Yes.
I hope the Ouija board hitbox for photos gets a little fixed too.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I register a lot.
That'll be good. That'll be good. So what games have we been playing recently? Playing some Warzone, some Dark Souls. What have you been up to, Bill?
I actually have been making a lot of content for Destiny 2. I shot a podcast. I shot a podcast episode that I really liked. But it's funny because I'm actually, and this isn't a slam on Destiny 2. I know this is kind of like a Destiny 2 themed podcast when we get together.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts. But
I'm actually finding. I know this might sound like sacrilege, but I'm finding personal satisfaction in games that are not Destiny 2. Like, for example, last night we're playing Warzone.
Yeah.
I actually got a 4-kill game. I get 4-kill games about once every 6 months on that game, and I've only been playing that game for 6 months. So yeah, that doesn't happen to me. I actually had a really good time. I'm starting to understand the game a little better because, man, I tell you, that that mode of gunfight is completely different from Destiny.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
You're
really different.
from watching you last night. I wish I was able to play with you, but you are hyper aggressive, which I like. I am also pretty aggressive in
True,
Warzone.
it's true. We're like, Ron, where are you going, dude?
I just like running things. Just like, hey, granted I don't play Destiny 2 as much, but it's still in my blood. I'm very much a Titan main. I just like run at things and I smash my head into it.
Yeah,
It doesn't always work, but yeah.
yeah.
Well,
That's one of the things
that's why Titan is the best class for anyone who plays other shooters.
yeah.
Right.
The rules of engagement are very different in Warzone than they are in Destiny.
Well,
Absolutely.
it depends on the lobby sometimes. So it's not very much different.
No, it's just because of the like map stuff. It's not. I wouldn't say it's super different in like just general multiplayer, because that's still like an arena size map. And it is nice that they have like a lot of their multiplayer maps within the Warzone. I think that's cool.
It makes a continuity in the game in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I need to dive into the lore of it because there's a lot of lore apparently.
Yeah. No, I mean especially with like Black Ops and stuff. It's a little
Even
bit
before
crazy.
that,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
they
a little
established
bit.
a lot of like Warzone by itself established a lot of lore that expanded from.
Oh,
just the
yeah.
story.
And I think there's a new update coming to Warzone this next week as well.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
I don't
Hopefully
know
fixes
if there's
the
gonna be a
rainbow
new map, but yeah. Well, hopefully. Who knows? Hopefully it'll stop resetting our resolution and stuff.
That was so annoying last night because not only was my game bugging out, but I like stopped streaming randomly. I'm like, I didn't even come close to my OBS interface.
Yeah.
And I like stopped streaming. I'm like, okay, screw this. Warzone, you were really glitchy last night and buggy, and it drove me nuts.
I've had that happen to me too before, like in different games. I want to say Destiny's done that. I think Red Dead did that, where like it'll just randomly tab out for no reason. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, it's quite frustrating.
Yeah, at the moment I've not had one full night session of not having at least one crash at the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or at least it crashing other programs on my computer. So I usually end up playing, and I wish I could just start up in safe mode at this point because it seems to be running better for some reason in safe mode. It would notice that none of the settings are actually changed. I change them back the second I get into safe mode, and they're working fine.
Yeah, I think from what I've heard, like since it's had this Black Ops integration, it's been a lot more buggy.
I would believe that because there's two different coding teams.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining the code's not working very well with each other, and that's what's causing a lot of the issues.
Well, that and like a lot of the weapons from Black Ops are just completely like broken in terms of balance. Yeah, compared to the Modern Warfare stuff. Oh man, what did I play? I've been playing some Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which has been fun. Rock kicked my butt on Discord. What was that, like last weekend or something? So
yeah, last weekend, jumped in and taught you how to play.
Yeah, we need to do a little bit of a rematch now that I can kind of do some of the combos and things.
Yeah,
so
you definitely have improved since we last fought.
yeah,
so.
yeah. So I'm still gonna lose, but that's okay. That's all right. And then we playing some Dark Souls. I really like Dark Souls, dude. It's a lot of fun.
But you're finally hitting that wall that I've been hitting.
Oh, I know, dude.
I've been chipping away at it for weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the one area that I had the biggest trouble in.
Yeah, it's that one zone, dude. That's so annoying. I'm so glad we got past those guys. So it's good to have some later bonfires. Are there like what was the name of the city? Like Irileth or something? Irithyll. Okay, it's close enough. And so apparently there's like a lot of invaders in that area. Are we past the point of where people like to invade, or is it just that like
it's the entire region?
The entire region. Great. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, all of Irithyll love being invaders. The only one I've not encountered invaders in is the dungeons, but that's just technically a different area of it. But I don't see many players invading in that area. But it's because the other one is very common ground. It's got a lot of really good fight areas. And and invader advantages for a lot of the NPC creatures around there. So,
Okay.
But it is possible if you continue running. If you once you unlock more of the shortcuts and stuff like that, you can just give the guys a run around basically.
So yeah, I was gonna ask like, what makes that area and like the swamp area like prone to invades?
The swamp area because of the faction in it, the old wolf faction.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why that's prone to invade is because the old wolf will send people into that. Is the guardian of the swamp, and so by joining that covenant, you will be basically pledging yourself to protect the swamp from outsiders. So every time you're summoned to go fight that in there, you're fighting an outsider.
Okay.
That's the lore behind that one. The other one is just the fact that it's just really easy to get kills in PvP.
Yeah.
As the invader on that one Irithel. And there are times where they actually a couple of months ago they did a PvP tournament for invades on the starting one, the Wall of Lothric.
Okay.
They had a big old thing about that, and that so happened to be the same day that me and Saran played. And I didn't know about it, and I looked at it later, and I was like, oh. Well, we chose a bad day to try out co-op.
Apparently, yeah.
Saran was starting up, so I was going to get him caught up to me a bit, and then just kept getting invaded constantly in there.
That's insane.
Yeah, so like remember when I went through with you, we didn't have any issues.
Yeah, no, there was like nobody there.
Yeah, that's because there was no tournament.
Yeah. So what, like in terms of progression, how far are we within Dark Souls 3?
You're approaching the halfway point. Once you kill the second Lord of Cinder, you are at the official halfway point in the game.
Okay. That's good. That's a pretty lengthy game then.
Yeah, because there are four Lords of Cinder, several optional bosses, and side bosses.
Yeah, and then I haven't picked up any of the DLC yet either, so we can expand that even more.
The DLC is amazing.
Okay, all right, we'll probably have to do that.
Yes, we will, but it's end game activity.
Yeah.
You can jump in it now. You'll have a really hard time at it, but
I'm not gonna do that. No,
thanks. Once you get New Game Plus, that'll be much easier.
Have you ever played a Dark Souls game, Bill?
I can safely say no. I've watched enough people play Dark Souls to know that if I get slightly salty playing PvP,
That's true. It's true.
Playing Dark Souls, because Dark Souls is meant to be hard, and that's okay. Video games can be hard. You don't have to have cheat codes and guides for everything. Sometimes games are hard.
Well, I mean, that's kind of one of the things that, like, when I play Dark Souls, I usually do use a guide just to, like, know where all the shit is and, like, kind of get an idea of how to, like, fight bosses. But it's still, even with that, it can still kick your ass.
And that's totally fine. It takes a certain kind of person to play Dark Souls. I am not yet that person, but I might be someday.
Who knows?
Maybe when Elden Ring comes out.
Elden Ring, yeah.
Elden Ring, yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, I can personally say that it's way easier in co-op. So
I'm sure it is.
it's way easier.
And I told John, I've seen a max of 4 players in co-op.
Oh my god!
Because you can do 2 white soapstones summons and then a blue summon, which is
okay. So that would be your third rogue.
So you can have up to 4 players in a co-op, and a maximum of 3 invaders.
Interesting.
Okay, that is very interesting. Oh man, what else have we been doing recently? We played Raft. We played the Raft last weekend. That was a good time.
We officially beat it technically.
Well, yeah, we beat what they have in the game so far.
Yes.
We'll be playing a little bit more this weekend. If anybody's interested in playing Raft with us, we've been playing a lot of stuff over on Discord, just hanging out and stuff like that, just chilling and talking and playing games. Have you ever played Raft, Bill? Do you know what Raft is?
No, I don't even know what Raft is.
So it's a survival game along the lines of like kind of like Minecraft or Rust or
Okay.
stuff like that. But you're on a raft in the middle of the ocean, and then you build out your raft, kind of
Okay.
increase your survivability, and then you're hitting other islands along the way, and you're learning the story of what happened in the past and trying to just find land, essentially.
Have you ever seen the movie Waterworld?
Yes.
It's a little bit like that.
It's
Yeah.
like basically that, but with a raft that you
Got it.
manually build out and customize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you can. I don't know if there's even a limit to how many people you can play on a single server.
I actually don't know. The most I've seen was 6 people, but because only have 6 people in the group.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any more than that.
I don't know if you want more than 6 people, but
Depends how big your boat gets.
true. I just meant like in terms of like server performance and stuff.
Right.
It is
Yeah.
peer to peer. So
Yeah.
depends how good's your PC.
yeah,
I
exactly.
just have to say that my PC is freaking awesome. Thank you very much.
Your PC is freaking awesome, and I'm very
Why,
jealous.
Bill could probably handle all of us playing on his connection.
I think
I
so.
probably could. I have I spent all the money. I have to. I think I'm legally and morally obligated to uh keep on rubbing my wife's feet for a while because I bought
Probably, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Contractually binding,
it. Pretty
Yeah.
much, it's like one of those things. Like, hey, if you still want to have space on the bed, this is probably a good idea. Sort of like that concept. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we can get started talking about Destiny.
All right.
Destiny. Yeah. So this season has been the season of the hunt for Destiny 2. With Beyond Light a few months behind us now, a lot of new content has been centered around holiday events and, of course, season of the hunt. What do y'all think of the current season of the hunt? What do you think, Rot? No, Rot's going first. Bill was just talking. All right.
I skip the Christmas event every year. It's a tradition since year 1. I'm doing it this year too. I don't want to make cookies anymore. I'm tired of it.
I baked cookies last year. I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, it's the same thing every year. Just add a vendor. That's all you do.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like the overall story of the hunt, I think it could be better than what it is. It's definitely decent. I'm not gonna say it's bad. But I do think it definitely could be better. I feel like Aldrin could definitely do with some more lines, some more cinematic or something. Because it feels like they just throw him in there for fan service, but that's kind of the opposite effect that you want to get by throwing Aldrin in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think Bungie did have plans for it, but the whole COVID lockdown really threw a wrench into everything, and they had to cut back on things because from what it sounds like, Bungie had deeper plans, but if you remember in the Beyond Light mission, so remember the mission where our ghost starts talking like Drifter.
Yeah.
Okay. So my son told me the whole reason they made the mission that way is that they didn't have access to the voice actor for Drifter.
And the voice actor of the ghost did his impression.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So yeah. So that tells me that Bungie actually, Bungie. It sounds like Bungie had other thoughts, and they were like, "Hey, let's see if we can make this, make this a certain way." And I think some of it was, I mean, yes, I realize that Beyond Light is only a couple months old, and a lot of this stuff was coded out beforehand. But I think that there's more to this game that Bungie couldn't release because it wasn't done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That all of that said, I do like the raid. I think the raid is fun. It has some interesting mechanics. I do like the three 3 augments and how one of them becomes deactivated and you have to transfer it, and then there's challenges based around the augments and things like that. So I think that there are pieces of it that are good. I made a video stating that Bungie should have let the Dawning fail, because I'm not sure if anybody remembers, like early in December, when it was pretty obvious that the community is like, we're not going to finish this in time, and then Bungie went in and increased the drop rates and things like that. I just said, Bungie should just let it fail. Just let it fail, because it's obvious. One, we didn't want to do it. We're like, this isn't something that is fun, because I can't tell you how many times I freaking dismantled the Avalanche.
So what was the deal for the Dawning? Because I don't even know there was like a community event thing.
Right. So basically there was like a quest, and every time you baked cookies and delivered them, did bounties and other things like that, you got I believe it was called them essence of dawning. It's the same. It was the same concept as the fractal line.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Where for everything that you did, you deposited so much into this a community quest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't remember the exact numbers. I think it somewhere in the middle of December, I believe it was Paul Tassi wrote an article that basically stated, at the rate we're currently going, and I don't remember how much Guardians were deposited per day, because at the rate we're going, we're not going to hit the January 5th goal. and a couple of days after that, I think maybe it was on I think it was the last TWAB before it was the last TWAB before they took a break. Bungie said, we're going to increase the drop rate, and it was basically like 3 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks before it ended, and we ended up hitting it. Like, it ended January 5th. I think we ended up hitting it like December 31st.
Okay.
So I just made a video. I'm like, Bungie should just let it go. Let it freaking go, because one, we're obviously saying that we don't like it because we're not participating. So there was this kinetic submachine gun, a cold front. It was rolling with a dragonfly. It was rolling with dragonfly, and it wasn't supposed to. It was not supposed to, because the only weapons that are supposed to get dragonfly are solar weapons. And so this a kinetic SMG was rolling with dragonfly, and so I believe Bungie came out right before the break and said, hey, we're gonna fix that. And then I think I believe DMG tweeted something to the effect of, we're going to, that perk will be replaced, I think, with Swashbuckler.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, we're a bunch of freaking crybabies. Oh, give me my stuff. This is so lame. And then but I think Solstice, the Dawning, and Festival of the Lost are wastes of time now. At one point, they were not. They were actually fun. Now they're just wastes of time. They're honestly just wastes of time. Yep. They are events that are meant to fill in space. They don't advance the story. They just throw a bunch of loot at us, and we're like, okay.
It's not even different loot too. It's the same loot every year.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what got me the most is they sunset a bunch of weapons, and they brought them back with the exact same rolls. And I'm like, I must have dismantled like 200,000 different versions of Avalanche. I'm like, Avalanche. If I had to choose a solar solar LMG, I choose Edgewise over Avalanche. But they sunset Edgewise and they haven't brought it back, even though it's a really good weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought back Avalanche. Avalanche is like fourth tier crappy LMG that nobody uses.
Yeah.
Why do we have Avalanche when we have thermal erosion that drops on Europa? We have a commemoration which drops from the raid, and they're all just nerfed.
Yeah.
Nerfed worse versions of Hammerhead.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Just use Xenophage. The only way.
But I mean, so I'd like an LMG that isn't an exotic that actually works. And I found it. I've actually found a couple of roles of thermal erosion that are nice. The only problem with thermal erosion, it doesn't have hardly any range on it, and so you pretty much have to get close to people. I'm like you bring back Avalanche, but you don't bring back a 21% Delirium, which is a way better weapon. And we all
I know, right?
We all actually like Delirium. Like, okay, I like Delirium. Delirium it's one of those LMGs that if you get lucky and you get a couple of heavy bricks to drop, it's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think that since they did the sunsetting, they should have at least let, like, because they have exotics that don't sunset, and they should also let pinnacle weapons not sunset as well.
That's why I'm picking Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Well, and then I believe December 8th, there was so the TWAB December 8th, Joe Blackburn basically said, yeah, we sunset too much. So a lot of the loot pool was taken out, and there wasn't anything left to really grind for. And instead of bringing in new weapons and new designs that would drop.
Hey, it's Ash.
Ashes is here. Okay. Anyway, they just took the old weapons and said, okay, here you go. And I'm like, guys, you have all these awesome new perks. You have these fantastic perks that are actually pretty darn useful, and they're interesting variations of what we already have, and you're bringing back this old crap. Can we have new weapons, please?
But like I thought was Ash about this a lot was how like sky rifles and pulse rifles are missing certain elements because of the sunsetting. Like sky rifles don't have access to arc at all. I believe it was arc, and then I believe pulse rifles are missing. I want to say void or arc. And
I think you're right. There isn't. Well, so there is an arc-based pulse rifle, and there's a solar-based pulse rifle, but I don't think there's a void pulse rifle. I think you're right.
No, that wasn't sunsetted.
Right.
Well, I think another issue is that a lot of the loot that was still there was gonna sunset in like the next season, anyways.
Right.
But the thing is, like there was a list going around for the community of all the weapons that are going to be sunsetted and all the weapons that aren't going to be sunsetted. So they had a list accessible showing what guns had what elements on them, and they didn't add to them. Or they really could have. Like I think the trusty from the raid would have been better to replace arc, because we have plenty of solar stuff. I don't need another solar gun.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you talking Ashes? We can't hear you. Okay. We can hear now. What's up, dude? What's going on?
Yeah, not too much.
Not too much. Fair enough. You and me both, dude. Apparently Rot hasn't slept yet, so.
Nope. We'll order me some DoorDash after this and everything.
Oh my god, dude. Can't believe it. So yeah, I was gonna say like I think a lot of like it's similar to a lot of other MMO holiday events because they kind of also just kind of rotate the same events every year. But I don't know. Do they usually
But
have new loot?
The loot is usually different each time they do the event.
Okay.
There's always something new and different about it regarding like loot or cosmetic items.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny hasn't done that. It's been the same ones every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been the same ones every time. And what made it intolerable for me was the fact that we spent all this time grinding and we got an ascendant shard and a world drop exotic. That's it. That's all we got. And I'm like, oh, okay. So basically you're giving an exotic to the people who may not have all of them. Okay, that's fine. And one ascendant shard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not giving me a weapon that I wouldn't normally have access to. I mean, I could see if it was an exotic that was restricted to one of the destinations that wasn't one of the destinations that was taken away. I could see that being something good because then people would be like, oh, I didn't get I didn't get a monarch, and the only way to get that bow was to do forges. Okay, I could see someone's, they said, hey, when you finish, you'll have your choice of the one of these 5 weapons that you could do like a Teraba Anarch, and maybe something out of one of the other raids that's like isn't available. Teraba Anarchy, maybe. And you could say, okay, if you don't have the weapon, here's a great opportunity to pick it up. But no, it's a random world drop.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have more fun grinding for the materials to buy it from the tower than I just spent the past 4.5 weeks running around making cookies.
Yep. And I think the fact that we now have sunsetting and they're reissuing these weapons, it just makes it like sting just a little bit more.
Yep.
And then we're gonna do it again in Valentine's when we're gonna get a new vow. So probably.
Yeah.
I actually forgot that was a gun. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that was a gun because I never did the event.
It's not a gun, it's a bow, man. Come on.
Even more reason why I don't know about it. I skipped Valentine's Day and Christmas Day. I don't come back. Yeah, I don't come back until end of February usually. When I skip out on the Christmas event, because that's when the game usually gets better, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So Ashes, what do you think of the season of the hunt?
I stopped playing it a long time ago.
Yep.
Same, dude.
It just doesn't keep me interest anymore.
Yeah.
I can comment on the lore side of it though. The lore aspect of it has been good. It's been really solid. The quality of the lore has been good from the books mainly. But and of course, all the stuff we learned about
I like that better.
Stranger and all that stuff was great too. But
okay, so I have a question, Rot, for you. Do you think lore is a weak excuse for actual story?
I think that. So here's my thing about lore and story. To me, they shouldn't be different. They should be the one and the same.
Okay.
The story should be the lore, and the lore should be the story. And the fact that they are different is a bad sign to me.
But what I'm getting at is I've seen several people say online that putting out more lore that advances the story and gives us more knowledge of the Exo Stranger and Osiris and the darkness instead of actually having something in the game that we can interact with to do the exact same thing is sort of weak. So for me, some of this lore comes off as Bungie's advancing the story, but they're doing it in the cheapest way possible.
Yeah, that's very much what it is. Because when I read these lore books, I usually get the feeling of this lore is great, but I feel like because the lore is great, the gameplay has suffered.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think the best that they've done in like seasonal stuff with story was probably the season with the sundial and Saint 14 and stuff. I think that was probably the highlight for me.
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed doing the quest stuff with the Extra Stranger, getting that lore from
Sure. Yeah.
seeing her and Anna's reaction,
And the tree and stuff.
meeting.
See now
that was a good way to do the lore.
That was an awesome little scene where you had Anna finds out that Elsie and her are related. She's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And then she storms off like, "Oh, we're okay."
Talking to their grandfather and then finding out who Banshee is.
Right, you're like, "Oh, this is odd."
Like it's because this is the thing. Banshee is one of those characters in the tower. We really had no lore about him. We have no real backstory to the guy.
Right.
And now we do.
Right.
Do y'all think that Banshee was always supposed to be?
No.
Because that seems like a little bit. I thought that reveal was super cheesy.
You can say it's cheesy, but I would say it was definitely a very recent development in his character development.
I was hoping that they were gonna just keep him as like an antagonist and within the Destiny universe, and the fact that they made him kind of like a good guy was kind of like a little bit upsetting. Not really like upsetting, but disappointing, you know.
But like, imagine what he's able, like, if he was able to ever get his memories back, the person he would become now
sure
is a big threat.
Well, it probably wouldn't be that much of a threat at this point because he's all buddy with us.
Well, yeah, but we don't know what will happen if he gets his memory back, kind of thing. Like, if he get all of it back, we don't know.
Not even like even the AI version of him is friendly with us.
Only because he has to be.
Right, exactly. I think
it conveniences him to be friendly with us. Therefore, he's friends with us.
Right.
Yeah.
You remember we're talking to a sociopath.
Oh, I know.
We are.
Who can? And once Banshee gets that memory back, he becomes the sociopath again. And sociopaths are very infamous for just dropping friendships to drop it a hat at the nearest.
I hope so. I hope that happens, man. I really do.
It would be cool, but I feel like we're just going to read about it more than we see it.
Yeah,
that's my biggest fear.
Right, and that's the problem that I have is that you have these awesome writers that are putting out good lore. I would wager 70% of Guardians have never read more than one or two lore pieces and honestly don't care. All they do when it comes to lore is they send a tweet to Bife. They send a tweet to Bife and go, "Hey Bife, what does this mean?" And then he says something back, and then everybody just like blows up about it. And he's like, "Dude, read this stuff." Like, "No, Bife, that's why we got you."
Yeah, it's your job, dude.
Like, I've seen many bigger streamers go, I can't wait for Bife to explain this to me so I can understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm over here like I read the full digital version of the lore book that I was sent out with the $100 edition of this expansion. I read it digitally, and I'm over here like, this is amazing stuff. This is really cool. I'm glad I'm able to understand this and actually read it like this. And then you have Bife who would do a summary of it.
Yeah.
Or he'll dedicate a full big animation to it, obviously.
Right.
Which I feel like he'd be a better idea to do that.
Yeah.
It is super in depth in the scientific reasoning of why things happen in Destiny 2.
So
that just takes me back to my first point is that you have Bungie who is creating this awesome lore, and really advancing the story, quote unquote, but not in the actual gameplay sense. And I'm like, because for me, it honestly comes off as being like lazy, because we don't buy Destiny 2 to read a lore book. We buy Destiny 2 to be freaking space wizards and to run around and shoot stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, should we be advancing the story in the game and not like doing stuff? Oh, I got these 9 pieces of lore I have to read. Like, nobody sits in anybody's stream except Bife. Okay, so if I guarantee that if Bife ever decided to host a live stream and discuss lore, there'd be like 200 people, and they'd all be yelling at each other, and he just like sit there and go like, guys, you can read it yourself. You can really just read it yourself.
Well, I think they did. I think for Beyond Light specifically, they did a good job of like giving us more actual story content. Even in the raid, we had like a story development that happened throughout the different like encounters and stuff. But like with this,
very well.
yeah, with the season specifically though, it seems like they're setting up for the next expansion, and there hasn't been like a whole lot actually happening within the season itself.
Yeah.
No, it feels like it's the main season was officially launched and we get all the stuff at it. It was like, all right, next thing.
But how?
Stuff. There needs to be connecting tissue, basically.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it's also like the season that's starting with the new expansion, and I feel like it's been this kind of similar for past expansions. So.
But there's
with the
seasonal update stuff though, like they're trying to go with a new way of telling the story.
Yeah,
right now it feels like they reverted back to the old way of doing it.
I think they kind of did, because a lot of this stuff is still gonna be here for the rest of the year, I think, right? Isn't the activity gonna stay, like at least the lore? Yeah. So what do y'all think of the lure activity itself? For me, it feels way too similar to what we're already doing on Europa, and I think that's one of the reasons it's just like, well, I don't really care to do this at all.
So, go ahead, Rod. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just really overly repetitive. I do like the aesthetics of it, as far as like what we're fighting against, and RottRavve's army, all that. I love that part because I'm a big Hive person. I love the Hive lore, and I'm loving that RottRavve has finally made her debut in the game. But that's it. It's more of a tease than anything, in my opinion. But as far as like the actual activity, it could be better.
Yeah.
So
the mission or not.
What was that, Ash?
Not sure if you saw what happened to the mission for RottRavve.
No, I haven't, because I think I've gotten my lure up to level 3. So I still have to just grind a lot more of those like hunts just to get up to the point where I can do it. And I'm like, maybe I even want to do that.
How long it's been since we've been able to actually play it, and it finally came out, and it was buggy. Really buggy.
Really?
Like, there's spots in the mission where you need to go through blights, and you have to destroy the blights to be able to go through them. And if you do too much damage or not enough damage to these blights, they'll bug out and not open up, and you have to restart the mission. And there's like 4 of them.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, all right.
So and so I gotta say that so the concept of the lure is good. I like the concept of the lure because I think it harkens back to the menagerie.
Yeah.
Where you had your chalice, and you could put various runes into it, and you could get stuff out of it. I like the lure in that, for example, if I want a new friction fire, I can do hunts to get it. Now it isn't the same. It isn't the same equipment that's always available. However, it does rotate. So if you do enough of them in a day, maybe 5 or 6, and I get that it's a grind, and that's sort of the point here. But you can re-roll a friction fire. You can re-roll roll your deafening whisper, and not only that, but you can have some control over stats and perks, which I think is cool. But I think in order for the lure to really hit a home run, they should probably give you a bigger a choice range.
Yeah.
So
I like the aspect of actually hunting the target and chasing it down
Mhm.
back to its lair. I like that idea of it. I think the execution of the final fight, though, is really simplistic to a point where it takes the fun away, in my opinion.
I mean, you don't even have to there's no
So is it, like,
thinking
one small thing?
involved. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I'll just go in there, throw a rocket at it, throw my super at it, and it's dead. And that's it.
Mhm.
There's literally nothing else that I gotta do. Whereas comparing it to previous seasons, freaking Sundial or what was the first one? I can never remember the name of it, but where you fight the big Minotaur or the Undying Mind.
Yeah, the Vex Gate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah, the a garden one, yeah.
Benny.
Find the car.
Oh yeah, you found some cars. That's cool.
Now.
Yeah, but all of the activities last year were kind of community events, essentially, where multiple people you would go into a playlist and do the activity with at least 6 different people.
Day.
Benny.
Oh, that.
And I think that kind of hurts. There's no real challenge in this activity at all.
No.
I think there needs to be a backfire for failing these community things.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier for the
Literally cannot
holiday
fail.
event. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
absolutely.
never failed. They won't let us fail.
And
Even if we do
and-
fail, they give us the thing anyways.
right, and that's the problem that I said in the video that I made. It's look, we're a bunch of spoiled brats. We get everything we want. All we have to do is go on Reddit. Oh, Bungie, this is too hard. Bungie, you made it wrong. Bungie, your game is broken. Bungie, your game sucks. Game is broken. Blah. And every time, whether it's the Fractaline quest or this dawning event, they change it and we succeed. And like I said, we got a random world drop and a shard. That was horrible.
I mean, if to go further back than that, you guys remember how they did Naomi Labs, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. The whole premise of it wasn't supposed to unlock until one of us beat it. Was a great idea, but it's not our fault they didn't put the clue in for the
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
And then they just gave it to us before it was actually completed.
I mean, it's 2 days.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
2 days. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They should have just withheld it. I know, they were excited to put it in and all that stuff. There's a time schedule to this kind of thing, but at the same time, if you're putting it into the player's hands to whether or not we get this or not, it's in the player's hands. You can't force it.
I would like another Nobi Labs though. That would be fun.
No
Yeah.
lab asking
Yeah.
activity. Yeah, I would love to
Yeah.
do that more stuff again. I love doing that with recuts with you. Actually, they were really fun.
Maybe they'll just reissue all of Black Armory again.
Oh yeah, they will. Oh, they will. They totally will.
I mean, either one's got to do something, you know.
Yeah. So, what would you all like to see in the next season to keep you engaged with Destiny? What would you need from the seasonal activity to keep you playing? Could anything?
So I want 2 things. I want 2 things specifically. 2 things specifically. One, I want Ikora Ray to talk to me again, please. For the love of God, talk to me. Please give me more. Give me a reason to come see you, other than I find you insanely attractive. You are I'm jealous of your very smooth and shaved head. I wish mine was that smooth. And two, they have to. So the Vanguard needs a major shakeup. They have to get rid of Zavala. Somebody else has to be in charge. We as a community are done with him. And that's not speaking ill of him. It's just we need a new character in place. A concept that I always go back to when people talk about entertainment is in pro wrestling, you would have these wrestlers go from territory to territory around to because after working so long in one specific area, people would get tired of seeing you. So you would have people go from territory to territory to either work on new things as part of a talent exchange, and they would leave an area, go to a new one, everyone would be excited, and then would either go back to their old area or shift areas again. It's the same concept here. We're tired of Zavala. It's not that we hate him as a character, it's just we hate having to look at him all the time because it's been the same guy for what, 5 years now, 4 years. Okay, something has got to happen, and I keep saying this in that I don't think Bungie will do this. Saint 14 needs to be in charge of the Vanguard. Saint 14 needs to be in charge of Vanguard.
Even Zavala said this in game, actually. I believe he's
Really?
stated that I believe he's hinted towards Saint 14 should take my place.
Saint 14 should take his place. You should have Crow / Aldrin be the hunter Vanguard, and then leave Ikora, her spot like vacant for a while. Because I mean, ever since the Red War, ever since Forsaken, we have not had a hunter Vanguard at all.
Yeah.
So what's to say we can't have Saint 14? Everybody loves him. He's an EXO. It'll fit well. He can be the Titan Vanguard. You can have Crow be the Hunter Vanguard. Leave the Warlock spot open and make that sort of like an infighting among all the Warlock factions, and make that part of the story. There you go. Bang.
Yes, but no. I'm
Okay.
sure I'll agree with this one. Is the
Okay.
fact that the characters in game obviously don't know that Crow's alive, and that's supposed to be him for the Vanguard because of the hunter.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
The hunter
Bet.
Dare.
There, that's the one.
Yeah, the Vanguard hunter
They
Dare.
don't know he's alive, so
Yeah, he has full right to go become Hunter Vanguard because of the Hunter Dare.
Yeah.
And not like it's because one, you get to half the community hates him still, and the other half has forgiven him. And then you have Zavala, who wants him dead. You have Ikora, who wants him dead. And even though he's already dead, as far as they know, the only person in the tower besides us who knows he's alive isn't the Guardian anymore. And Osiris is really good at keeping secrets from people.
We could have, what's his name, Hashan or whatever, over on Cosmodrome.
Jaw.
Hey man.
The throwaway character.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he even have lore? I actually hadn't seen it. Does he have lore on him?
I mean, he does if you do the new light stuff, because he's like part of the squad that got stranded there and stuff and lost everybody. And that's kind of the lore behind the revamped Omnigul strike.
Mm-hmm.
die to Omnigul.
Yeah.
Jairus' 9-man group.
He's been there since D1, guys. We gotta save him.
Yeah, apparently. Oh man.
I mean, it's a delicate field because you're delving into the world's political scene at that point. Because the Vanguard really doesn't need to be there anymore to an extent. the Guardians are very self-sufficient, and all they do is like Titans will protect the city forever. They don't need a Vanguard to tell them to do that because it's ingrained in Titan culture to do that. Warlocks are going to go tutor books and explore, and just in general spy on people. Regardless, they just need someone to report to.
And they're gonna shoot lasers out of their hand. They just saying sorry.
Yeah. And hunters are just going to be hunters and live out in the galaxy away from the Earth. That's their whole stick. Is hunters hate going back to tower. They rather be out there in the field. That's why a lot of hunters never come back. Because the second they come back, it's a chance for them to become Vanguard, and no one know it's a punishment to any hunter.
Yeah. Well, I think are we getting Vault of Glass next season? Is that?
Yes.
It's either next season or the season after. I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure.
I do know next season we are getting Nightfall specific loot.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, true.
We're getting nice balls.
But it's returns.
Mm-hmm.
Like reissue stuff.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, great.
So what Bungie has, but what Bungie has to hit a home run with is transmog. If transmog,
Oh
fails,
yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of people pissed off, and I'll be one of them. Because So they
We were
said,
supposed to have it this season, and we're also pissed if we don't have it.
Mhm.
and I'm just saying, season 14, transmog is supposed to be like the thing, and which I think will keep people distracted for a long time, because you could literally go back through your collection to all your old stuff, and you can pull it out and you can make it into ornaments. That will keep people occupied for a long time.
Oh yeah.
That'll keep people, because there are some people, there are some creators, that's all they do. They just do fashion. Totally fine. That's
Every game, yeah, pretty much every game has a fashion culture in it.
Yes, exactly. And so I really hope that transmog works. Because if transmog doesn't work, a lot of people are going to be pissed. A lot of people.
Okay. I want to ask. What do I want to ask? How much have you been playing recently, Ash, of Destiny?
Last time we played, in general,
I could tell you this week 0 hours,
Okay. I played.
maybe an hour.
I think I played an hour just doing those hunts, and I was like, I upgraded my lure by 1, and I was like, I really don't want to do any more of this, so I'm just gonna shut it down. And I put Destiny on my external drive. I took it off of my SSD.
Wow.
Yeah.
fair. I need to do that probably, but
Like, you start it up, you want to do something, and then you go to do it, and then you go, "This is boring."
Yeah.
last
Why
time
did I
was
do
on
this?
was the day Hawkmoon came out. I jumped on, grabbed the quest, did part of the first step, logged off, and I was like, okay, now I don't have to worry about picking the quest up or if it goes away.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's stuff I could do. I haven't finished like the stuff on Europa. There's still some like armor exotics that I could get for Titan or Warlock, and I haven't finished the story on those characters, so they don't even have stasis yet. But
I'm
like,
waiting for the new stuff
I
to
just
say
like
come
I have
out.
no
They still
desire.
don't even have aspect 2.
I
So raid challenges came out, and as soon as I heard what the first one was, I was like, "Yep, if they're all going to be like that, no thanks."
yeah. And then I still have, is it the aspects or the fragments that are account wide?
I have no idea.
Fragments, because aspects are character based because each character has 2 sets of
Okay.
aspects.
And then there's 6 fragments, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't know they were account wide. I didn't know that, but it makes sense because they're all the same.
Yeah.
Dad? What is that?
Well, you only play Hunter anyway, so.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Rod, I didn't know that. Oh, Rod.
Really? We've been talking for how long now? You didn't know the Hunter main?
I did not know you're a hunter, man. Oh.
No.
Well, okay, all right.
Hope it explains a lot.
Where'd it go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
I
what
agree.
is
Totally a Titan, man.
Exactly. Hey, I love my
Hey,
crayons.
Daddy.
I was
love
gonna
my
say, when's your birthday so we can all send you a box of crayons?
April 14th.
Daddy,
April 14th.
Okay. Well, it's coming up. It's coming up.
Okay, April 14th. Everybody send me crayons. I will totally open all the boxes on stream. That'd be
Oh my
exciting.
god, that'd be amazing.
Lots of crayons. Look, lots of crayons. Oh, lots of crayons.
Holy
Birthday's
shit.
in 17 days.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like,
I just need to message my friend because today's her birthday.
I don't even know if this is gonna continue to be a Destiny podcast anymore. Cause like,
Yeah,
We're
it's
branching
just-
off.
yeah,
we are, and that's fine because for me, Destiny 2 was a way to connect with my son and my family. Well, my son has moved on to other games. He's introduced me to other games, and we've played them together. And so I don't have the same connection to Destiny 2 that I had like last year. I don't have the same connection.
right back.
apparently we have child issues. Anyway, for me, I just don't think that. Ash, I just want you to know you should totally buy those for me. I will totally eat them on stream. That's awesome. But I just think that it for me the the overall motivation to play Destiny 2 has changed. It's not like worse or better or whatever. It's just changed, and the fact that I become more comfortable as a streamer and a gamer with other things. A really awesome example. We started the podcast. What's the first thing we talk about? Phasmophobia, right?
Yep.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's not so like it's not a bad thing to branch out to other games because like even the big Destiny 2 players like Glad, and everyone like that, they play other games
They do.
too. When they've done everything in Destiny 2, they jump into another game and play with friends.
Yeah, like Gathalion, Broman, all those dudes that kind of all branched off. There's a lot of people
Even
that,
Dado.
yeah.
Dado has a whole
Yeah, no, I
series
mean,
on
like,
YouTube for that.
there's a lot of people that jumped off after Destiny. And never really put a whole lot of time in Destiny 2. So it's been a recurring theme for like people who were major Destiny streamers to stop playing and just go on to other stuff.
It's like there's a time of every part of the seasons everyone jumps off and plays other games.
Yeah.
And or at least the time of year when everyone does that, at least maybe 4 or 5 times a year. But then they'll jump back in when the new stuff comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I want to say about 7 months ago when Glad was getting frustrated at things, and he said that he might, he said something about not playing Destiny very much, and everyone took it like, oh, Glad's leaving Destiny. Glad's just like, he's like, guys,
All right, see it.
chill out. All I'm gonna do is try something new for a while. I promise I'll come back. Everybody relax. And everyone like freaked out, and now it's like Destiny 2. Okay,
That's the problem with becoming a big streamer and being
Yeah.
locked into a single game though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're only known for one type of content. The other
Yep.
content you do is just overshadowed.
Yeah, like a lot of people want Destiny to be the only game that they play, just like a lot of people only play
Not
Call of
Bungie.
Duty. Yeah.
Not Bungie.
Well, but Bungie would be happy if you did that. What was that,
I mean,
Ash?
people they're doing it already.
I think the only person that's managed to do diversity and content like pretty much straight away is probably Sweatcicle.
Well, he
Everybody
wasn't.
just wants to watch him rage.
I mean, yeah, he established himself earlier on to be that way.
Oh, wait, I know where.
I think just another major streamer that I know that has always done variety is like Carnage. I don't know that he ever just played one game at some point, but he might have, because I wasn't. Who knows?
Look at Dr. Lupo, for example. He was big Destiny 1 guy. Everyone watched him for Destiny 1. When he moved away from that, it was a big deal. Same thing with Fortnite. He moved away from that, it's a big deal. And when he came back to Destiny 2, everyone was like jaw dropped. Like, you're playing Destiny? What? And
I
he's
didn't know
back
you
on
played this.
And now he's back on Tarkov because they recently had a new wipe.
Yep.
And
Tarkov is really big right now, man.
I've been dabbling back in it every now and again.
Yeah, I just can't. I freaking hate the inventory system in that game, and I will not play Tarkov because of that.
If you like Tetris games, you like the inventory system.
I don't like
That's all you
Tetris
gotta do.
games. I don't.
Exactly. It's not a game for you though. It's not.
No,
marketed
it's
towards
not.
you.
It's not for me. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
But it's not. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But see, that right there's an interesting statement, Rod. Not every game is for everybody. I like that you said that because I wish game developers would like have a deeper understanding of that.
Mainly AAA companies, because the indie developers know their targeted audience and know their marketing, and they go for it.
Yeah.
Everyone else is extra.
I mean, Destiny 2 is casual game hardcore right now, and that's why they make. If anything's too difficult, they're gonna make it easy for you. So just wait, hold on, and it'll be super easy to get later.
Exactly. They should just remove the hardcore aspect of the game completely at this rate because they've pretty much killed the community for it.
I played some trials the past 2 weeks. It is super ultra sweaty. Not just your standard.
Oh yeah.
Dude, trials is ultra sweaty, and I'm an okay PvP player, but some of this stuff is like, wow. I guess this game mode is not for me.
Yeah.
I've been too many times in the last couple of weeks because of just stasis in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's so trials right now is all trials is right now is a glacier, a grenade shatter dive. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, Destiny was never. It was never like a great PvP game, but now it's like it's not even a good PvP game at this point.
It used to have skill. Now it doesn't take that much.
No, it definitely has like player skill, but
yeah, but if you're a high tier player, like you're using stasis, you're holding an easy win button, just like how Nova Warp used to be. It was the easy win button.
I think the one thing that Miss Falfas and Watts was saying the other day was the fact that you remember in D1 we used to have an armor set for just playing trials and then an armor set for going flawless. We need that back again.
Yeah.
An incentive to come back as a casual player, not just a flawless player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, see, I'd settle for an armor set that's not exactly the same for Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard, except for it's a color. I mean, I would take Bungie putting a little bit more effort into making those vendor specific armors different from each other.
You mean like a vendor refresh, like at least every year or so?
Whoa, hold on there, Whoa.
I
mean, I don't want to get too crazy about this, but
I think a really good idea that they should do is start buying up some of these concept art from fans to use in the game. I think that'd be a smart move for just their interaction with the community and the artists of this community who make all these amazing concept arts and armor sets and weaponry and start making them real.
Mm-hmm. That'd be awesome.
Because they're clearly out of ideas. They exactly. Like, I'm surprised no one at Bungie thought about the fans have concept art of our game that aren't in our game. Why don't we use that? We just pay them for the rights to use them.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they won't have to pay that as much for it because I'm sure the people who are drawing this stuff are mega fans in the first place. They will be ecstatic for their stuff to be in there, and they won't care what price they send there. But they can send $20. I'd be like, yes. Just give them credit. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
It is not too terribly difficult. I don't think it'd be that big of an issue. In fact, I think that'd be more of a boon to the community than anything, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't necessarily think you would have to spend a ton of money. Just turn it into a contest.
Well, yeah, even just starting a contest and picking top tens.
Yeah.
that would be great too,
Yeah.
and just have categories of your entries basically, and you'll pick the top 5 from each different type of entry, and
Yep.
then there's your new armor set. There's your new seasonal stuff to put in for us.
Yep.
Yeah, Ubisoft actually did something similar to that, but it was back when they announced Beyond Good and Evil 2. They announced some like creator program to where like you could make artwork and stuff for the game, which was interesting.
I know this comparison has come up hundreds of times on this podcast, but Warframe does something like this already, where if you're in the game and you go in to buy like a skin for your Warframe or weapon, there's 2 different types of payment you can do based on the skin you're picking. Some skins, it has a Steam icon and it says $5. And then you have others that are in the actual in-game currency of platinum. The ones that are $5 are community-made ones that got approved by developers.
Okay.
And you're paying the community member for that skin.
It's similar to like the mods that you could buy for like Skyrim or Fallout or something.
Similar, yeah, but it's more for this is fully cosmetics.
I mean, a lot of those are too, but yeah.
It's more of the developers giving the credit and the money to the individual who made the skin.
Yeah.
And Bungie can make something similar to that, or they can, like I said earlier, just give them the money straight up, which I'm sure they would be able to afford that.
That would be interesting.
Instead of paying so much money on their own art team to design the armor and stuff that they're not making, apparently, just get the concept from these community, because the community is an endless supply of cool concept art that's been floating around forever. Half the time, I've seen some artwork that's been so good that it's been confused to be real armor in game already.
Well, hopefully, once we have transmog, they can go a little bit crazy with stuff. So
I hope it's an idea that's on their mind and on their table, and they do take it seriously and look at it as an option. Because I think that it would benefit the lack of
Eververse.
they can't tie all of it to Eververse, to be fair.
Well, they said that any of the activity stuff at this point won't be tied to Eververse.
It would help the loot pool as a whole, and it'll be a way for them to start adding back activity-specific loot. Because I'm pretty sure one of the reasons they don't have it right now is because they don't have the diversity of armor or weaponry designs to do it. They just don't want to program it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the weapons are just colored reskin models of older stuff. So
I mean, look at the comparisons from the Halloween events gun, the Braytech werewolf. It's literally the Braytech auto rifle reskinned.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the name as well.
It's not even werewolf fish. It is a skeleton. It's a glow in the dark skeleton.
Yeah.
Not even werewolf.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for a Destiny discussion for right now. We're going to talk about streaming and gaming goals in 2021. So 2020 is finally behind us. Thank God. And the future is looking bright again. Relatively speaking, it's it's a little bit better, and there's still shit going on. But it's just the aftermath. Yeah, it'll get better. We'll see how it goes. This is not a political podcast, so we're not gonna get into that shit. But looking back on 2020, what are some things you did last year that you are particularly proud of? Any gaming or streaming accomplishments? Anything for you?
World first. Finally getting day one, yeah.
Yeah, no, world's first, man. I didn't know that.
Finally getting a day one finish, and that's not like 2 hours after the 24 hours. I think that's a nice accomplishment for D2 finally.
Anything for you, Ash, that you did last year?
Probably the same thing, to be honest.
Same thing.
We've been working together for every raid since.
I mean, it was a bit of a letdown when I found out that so many people got it, but you know.
I mean,
Well,
but
there's a lot of people that didn't get it, so I don't know if I'd say that.
There
were a crap ton of people that did get it, but there were also a lot of
Easiest
people.
one, apparently.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we found out while doing it, we had the worst RNG luck in it.
Yeah, the second encounter we kept screwing up this easiest stuff, or we just get the easiest things.
Yeah.
It was mostly RNG to the point because we would execute everything perfectly, but RNG, like a bug glitched, the ad glitch, like we killed him and then he respawned and wiped us, or we'll just get physics by nothing. Like there's this little clip of me getting, I can't tell, was it me getting punched by bat into a wall and dying? Like by my own teammate, just doing a regular Titan punch.
What the heck?
And I go flying into a wall and die. And then
Freaking Titans, man.
And he gets sent backwards and dies.
What? Oh my god, dude.
And we have a third person view of this happening.
On Rox's stream.
Yep. Yeah, clip of it.
That's amazing. That's really funny. What about you, Bill?
Back into this launched.
What were your highlights of last year?
Well, for me, it was actually starting to stream. So January 1st to 2021 was my 1 year anniversary. And yeah, so I've been streaming for just over 1 year. I was extremely proud of my son. He was part of the raid team that finished the Deep Stone Crypt 7th overall.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, I was really proud of him. I was like, dude, 7th, that's pretty dark. I was doing a raid with my clan, and we needed one. And so I sent him a message. I go, hey, and we need one. Can you be in? And he said, no problem. And I didn't tell my clan that my son was Sherpa-ing, but yeah, he gave some. So because I told everybody, hey, this is somebody I know. His raid team finished 7th overall in the day one, and he gave some really interesting insights for the raid team. I don't think anybody in my clan knows that was my son, but I fought it. I told him, I promise I won't tell anybody in my son. But I mean, that was good. I focused a lot on Destiny 2 when I started streaming because it was safe, because I knew the game, I knew how to play it. I ended up taking some risks with some other games, Phasmophobia, Warzone. I actually started to enjoy Warzone. I'm horrible at BRs anyway, but I started to enjoy Warzone. I'm glad that I put some more effort into my YouTube channel with some new content. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things for me was actually getting this podcast started. Like, I've had a great time with that, hanging out with people and stuff. So it's been a good way to, like, I probably wouldn't know you as well, Bill, if we hadn't been doing this podcast. So it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And just in general, I think I spent a lot of time getting to know a lot more like streamers and creators within the Destiny community this last year than I had ever like. I've probably met 10 times as many people this last year than I have of like my entirety of like playing Destiny or even like streaming and stuff as well. So those are probably my highlights. And then so what are some goals that we have for, we'll start with content specifically for 2021. Do you have any goals, Ashes? I know you're hopefully at some point want to get a partner. Yeah.
So on my list, quite a few things.
Okay.
I want to actually start my YouTube. So
Oh hell yeah.
On there. I think I'm at 900 something right now.
Oh yeah.
The 5K followers on Twitter, maybe a Twitch partner. I'm not entirely sure. That's an iffy thing. stream anything I want, so not be tied to one thing. Destiny.
Then
10k followers, because why not?
why not? Yeah.
Way up there. Have an active community in my Discord. I mean, it's getting there. Got a couple of people, but not.
Yeah.
And then just in general, just not be in a bad financial spot.
Yeah, I feel that. What about you, Bill?
I have my goal for 2021. I realized that I needed to put out more content. I had focused a lot on quality. That I wanted that if I put something out, I wanted it to be good. And I realized that that you pretty much have to have both. And so what I've done is I've started this series. Last Thursday I recorded 4 of these where I go on to a Reddit and I find some gaming posts, streaming things like that are interesting, and I read through them, and I read through comments, and I provide some, like I provide thoughts and answers and questions, and it's a really simple way to get myself out there. It doesn't take a ton of time to make a video. I mean, if one of those videos lasts 10 minutes, it actually takes me longer to render the video and then upload it to YouTube than it does to actually make it. It's really simple. I just turn on OBS. I make sure that it looks decent, and then I record it. I do a little bit of editing, add something at the end, a closing screen, and then boom, I'm done. And those videos in other verticals like sports and politics do really well. You take some news, you read through it, and you provide perspective. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you do. And I'm like, that's a really simple concept. I can do 3 or 4 in one day. Doesn't take a ton of time. Doesn't cost me any extra cash to do it. I have all the equipment. I'm like, yeah. So I need to do that. And then I'm gonna probably stream Destiny 2 less. My son has been pushing me to get into this game called Yakuza. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I do want to try something else, and I'm going to probably end up streaming some more Warzone too. So
I'm gonna be very interested to watch you play Yakuza.
Which
That's-
Yakuza?
Here,
Is it the newest one?
Yakuza 7?
it's hold on a second. Let me get the name. Hold on. He wants me to play. Crap. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's Yakuza Like a Dragon, I think.
Yeah, that's the newest one.
Classic.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. Let's just try something new.
It's gonna be very new, dude.
Extremely.
And I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm for new stuff. I found a comfort zone with Destiny 2. I will probably always play Destiny 2 simply because it's Destiny 2 for me is like my first girlfriend. You always remember the first thing that you fall in love with. I mean, I love Destiny 2 because it brought me closer to my son. It gave me an opportunity to learn creation skills. It gave me an opportunity to be part of groups and be part of something that was larger than me. I will always love Destiny 2. It doesn't mean that I can't. I can love the game and still be critical of it, and then for me, I had to get over the mental block of I am betraying the game if I play something else. And I'm like, Bungie doesn't care. If I play something else, Bungie does not care. And I'm like, why am I letting myself get wrapped up in this? I mean, this game is not I mean, yes, I love it, but it isn't my wife and my girlfriend. Why am I so loyal to something that sucks?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Bungie totally expect you to like take a break and then come back whenever there's new stuff. That's how they have their game set up.
and that's totally fine. so for me, from a content standpoint, from a streaming standpoint, it'll be about new things breaking out. I have a really great community. I have it's small. Don't get me wrong. I'm still under 300 follows on Twitch, but I'm a different. I'm a different sort of a demographic as a streamer. There aren't too many streamers playing action RPGs that are over 45. It just isn't a thing, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me. I'm just saying, you don't tune into me because of the sick gameplay or I'm extremely handsome, because I'm neither of those. So
Well, I mean, come on, man.
well, I'm just saying that while this might be my good side, this is this piece right here. I mean, I don't get too wrapped up in thinking that I'm something that I'm not. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 50 in about 16 months. In about 16 months, 17 months, I'll be 50. Okay, the average gamer is not that old, and the average streamer is even younger. So I have a really solid sense of who I am, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I don't get wrapped up in failure anymore. I just like, if this works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay, let's go.
Do you have any content stuff that you want to do, Rot?
Well, yes and no. It's not really content for the sake of content, but it's more I want to to learn a speed run of a game, and I want to go for at least a top 10 position.
Do a tunnel.
I've actually considered it. I've been looking up the speedrun writing. I've been trying to learn some of the tricks. The super jumps got me stumped a bit, but I'm learning.
So I have to say that one of my favorite YouTubers to follow in the speedrunning world is Carl Jobst.
Carl Jobst, yeah, I love him.
I love his videos. He's really good at it. Yeah.
White Goose or Geese, I forget his name. And Easyscape.
Okay.
Are the three reporters I watch. I watch a lot of other actual speedrunners like Gymnast, who holds a lot of world records in Legend of Zelda games.
Okay.
Pete's Small Ant 1 holds some world records in Super Mario. Simple Flips and Cheesy, who are Super Mario 64 speedrunners, Cheesy being the current world record holder.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like I've been interested in speedrunning for quite a few, almost all of my gaming career, to the extent since the internet's been a thing, because it's interesting, but I've never attempted it. I know I have the capability to do it. I just need to practice.
Yeah.
And find a game I enjoy speedrunning. That's the really tricky part for me, is finding one I really enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I think my goals are actually very, very similar to Ash's goals for this year. I want to continue supporting my YouTube channel, or get back to supporting it, and I want to hit like 4,000 subscribers on there. I've been sitting at 2,000 for a long time. And then I want to hit either 30 to 50 concurrent viewers on Twitch, which is going to be very difficult, but we'll see how it goes. And then I'm also trying a lot harder to have a renewed focus on the community, and especially like through Discord and stuff, like Ash said. So we've been doing each weekend we'll get on and play games in our Discord with people, and anybody's welcome to join. This last weekend we played Raft, and then throughout the week we'll just get on and hang out and talk and watch each other play games and stuff as well. So that's been what we've been doing. And then I'm trying to think. I'm not worried about Twitter too much. I might get back into Twitter at some point, but right now my main focus as community is mostly on Discord. So what kind of videos are you wanting to do, Ash? What are you thinking?
Yeah, that's the bit I'm stumped on. I'm not entirely sure.
He was D2.
I do like doing build videos, but
Hmm.
I got no game to play right now for that, so I don't know.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of Arc stuff, streaming at least. Is there like any kind of videos you could do for Arc?
No,
Funny
not
moments.
game.
Do you like mod videos?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, moments and stuff.
I know who you play with. There's plenty of random funny shit that's said.
Yeah, dude, I just don't like. I don't get how, like, there's a bunch of people that just like, not kind of what Bill was talking about, but like Houndish and like other streamers that just like put out a video every day and it's just covering the news from that game, and it's just like,
There's nothing new. There's nothing new to report.
yeah.
Half the time, it's just the same old, same old.
But we could talk about what Zur has, and you know, the new TWAB and shit like that.
Crab I get, but no.
Yeah.
Never made Zur relevant for a long time.
Yeah.
Plus, you got the relevance when he added old weapons. Well, what's now old weapons into his pool.
Mm-hmm.
But now you just go to the tower and get all the exotics you want because Zur's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, Bill, what are some goals that you have for gaming in 2021?
Goals for gaming? You know, I want to play with friends. I want to create something where we do. I mean, I like games where you do things together. I don't know. I see gaming as more of a tool, and so I use my gaming connections to do other things, like my a podcast. You know, I did a podcast episode this last week where I had somebody who worked for an esports org, and they told me how the org owner didn't pay him. Org owner treated him like crap, and then the owner ghosted the whole org.
Oh,
And
jeez.
oh yeah, it's the standard behavior of somebody who thinks that they're Nate Shot, and I'm like, this guy's a moron. He got blackout drunk on stream on freaking White Claw. Really? Like, oh yeah, I'm a business leader. I'm an esports org owner, and I get drunk on stream and pass out.
Everyone I've met who's got drunk on White Claw is like, it's the weirdest experience because it's never. It takes so much fun. It takes a lot for them to get drunk off of it. White Claw because it's such a very weak alcohol.
Yeah, it is.
But like when your first White Claw drunk is like one of those things you'll never forget because it's like, how did I do that?
Yeah. So for me, gaming isn't the end. Gaming is a more of a means to an end for me. It's I think I use gaming to connect with people, and so I've made some really awesome connections all over the world. Talked to some really awesome people, and so I want to. I want to use gaming to keep doing that because it's a very common theme across generations, across cultures, and I think that for all that's going on right now, there's a genuine opportunity to bring people together with gaming, just to kind of find some peace. Because, dude, man,
Yeah, dude. Well, like, so for me with my goals for this year is that I'm trying to branch out and learn how to play games that I'm not as familiar with, because I've been playing games a long time, so I know how to play a lot of different types of games, but like
right.
trying to beat Dark Souls, which is very different from a lot of games that I play, and it's very hard, but it's also been a lot of fun. And then like playing Raft, I don't typically play a lot of survival games, and I'm interested in jumping into Ark with Ash and stuff and learning the ropes there and stuff. So just like branching out into new experiences and developing like new types of like gaming skills, I guess you could say. At some point, maybe I'd even like to go flawless in trials, but I don't know if I care enough to do that as well at the same time. So we'll see. But what about you, Ash? What are some goals that you have? What are some things you like to do? Yeah, that you haven't done yet, if there's anything.
Any solo game, I just want to beat it on the hardest difficulty there is available.
Oh, that's another thing, is I need to finish Doom Eternal. That's another
I
goal.
did that literally the other week.
Oh, man.
Nightmare mode. First try, didn't even do the normal version. Basically, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I think I've been playing on Ultra Violence. I think
Ultraviolence is the one life. I think.
it's like Ultra Nightmare. I think is the one life.
There's
think-
two versions of one life. I can't remember.
I think so. I think Ultra Violence is like the hard mode, and then Nightmare is like the one right above that. I think. And then Ultra Nightmare is the
Loading up, I'll have a look.
yeah. So what about you, Ryan? You said you want to do some speedruns and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much just learn some speedrunning, and that, as I said, that counts as content because I have to record or stream at least and upload to the site. So that does count as a content for me. As far as like actual gaming related stuff, nothing major at the moment. I didn't come up with anything.
Fair enough. Well, I think one of my main goals is like being consistent with this podcast and doing it every week. Because I definitely know enough people to like get 3 people on for each podcast. It's just like, I don't know. It's like stress that you kind of put on yourself to like, man, do these people really want to be on this podcast? And
You sound like me, my streaming schedule.
yeah.
I start making one, and I'm like, and then I get to the day of it. I don't want to do it today.
Yeah. And then also just like figuring out like, what do I want to do for like a video? Like I did my Cyberpunk review, which is actually doing relatively well. I posted it yesterday, and as of this morning, it has over 100 views, which is good. Yeah.
I will say you did a very good job of staying neutral in your observation.
Yeah.
In your review, at least.
Like I think I gave the impression that I really enjoyed the game, but I also
acknowledge that there are things wrong with it, and that will be addressed in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think the do what now?
I got the difficulties up.
Oh yeah. Okay. So what do we got
Too
for?
Young to Die, which is the easiest one.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt Me Plenty, Ultra Violence, then Nightmare, and then there's 2 extra options.
Oh,
Ultra
okay.
Nightmare, which is when you die, you fail, which is then you got Extra Life Mode, which is when you run out of lives, then it's game over. So you got Ultra Nightmare is 1 death, that's it. No lives, no nothing. Extra Life Mode is the lives, and then it's over.
Yeah, instead of just like having to restart the level, it's just like the whole thing. Interesting. Okay, that's cool. Like, I'm wondering if they added that after the game came out.
I know they added
No
a
idea.
3 life one because
Yeah.
Ultra Nightmare has been a category to run in
Mhm.
Doom for a long time now.
Yeah.
The lives the lives one. I know that's pretty new.
I hope Cyberpunk gets a new game plus at some point, but we'll see.
I do too. It feels like a game that should.
Yeah. Well, I think Witcher 2 and 3 had new game plus modes.
It did.
So, just as a fast question on this,
Mm-hmm.
I think that this sentiment came from the developer CD Projekt Red. Shouldn't there be games where there is a specific end? Shouldn't there be a point at which the game is over? And because I say that because the problem we have with Destiny right now is that it is open world. There is no end. There's always something more. The next.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something to be said for here's the start, here's the end. Here's your game. Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also another thing to say that for a linear game, but for an open world game that feels more empty than it probably should be, and where there are mechanics that feel like they could be there but are not there. Like to say there's an endpoint for those things makes it difficult to accept that.
Well, it's also a games as a service as well, on top of being open world.
Well,
Right.
I was referring specifically to Cyberpunk.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Is that it doesn't bother me that there's a sandbox. That's fine, but you can't have an infinite sandbox. There has to be borders on the sandbox.
Yeah,
And,
like
I'm honestly fine with Cyberpunk. You have a couple different story arcs, totally fine. There's a sandbox, but the sandbox has hard edges. You cannot go inside of it. You can do a certain set of tasks, and maybe those tasks, maybe there's 4,217 tasks. Okay, great. Yeah, there's a lot to do in it, but there's a definite end to it. You know what I'm saying?
there's a level cap. You can only level up your character so much.
Exactly.
I mean, like I said, level capping, like I can accept there being an ending, but when there's what the ending feels like there's a lot missing from the ending.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Then it shouldn't be. Then I don't think that should be the ending.
Got it.
Like Breath of the Wild 2, Breath of the Wild, for example, great, amazing open world. You can spend hours upon days playing the game, even if you've beaten it over, gotten all the quests done, all extra activities are done, and you still can find yourself playing with it, including all the DLCs. But the story ended long ago for you.
Yeah, I mean Skyrim's the same way.
Exactly. Like there is an endpoint to these things. It's just that, but it's an endpoint for the developer, not the player, though.
Right. Okay. Got it.
That's how I see it, at least.
Yeah. So Ash, we're gonna do a little bit of a guest interview with you, dude.
Oh.
Cause we had you. I think you were on our first podcast, right? On the first episode that we ever did, and this is, I think, the second time you've been on.
Yep.
So answer these as much as you want to. Give us a brief description of who you are, what you do, as far as streaming and things that you want to share, because you didn't want to tell people where you lived in the UK last night in Battle Royale.
I never say that's all.
No, yeah, I get it.
The extent of that, I'll say, as I'm down south, the UK, of course. Streaming wise, I just play whatever I enjoy, really. Usually play, if I do, like I said, solo games, I play the hardest game or game mode possible. Usually play survivals, though, like recently Ark, as you know. Shitpost on Twitter as normal, and that's about it, really.
Seems about fair. So thinking back, like the Cyberpunk thing, that's kind of one of the things that made me think about like gaming goals, because like I know for Bill that's like a very different kind of experience that he's had probably with playing games and stuff. I don't know how many games you played that were like Cyberpunk.
Honestly, I think Cyberpunk and Destiny 2 are a lot alike. It's just there's some different mechanics to it, and it's a different vibe. But I think Destiny 2 and Cyberpunk are have a lot in common.
So what's your background in gaming, and what kind of consoles did you grow up on? And what were your favorite games growing up, Ash?
Oh. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a dinosaur game on the PS2, I think.
Turok?
I can't remember.
I think Turok was
like
Nintendo. I want to say.
It was a dino park. It's like a Jurassic World, but you build your own park and you put your own fences up. You put your dinosaurs in there, and if you put like herbivores and thingies in there, of course the carnos will kill them. But that was one of my favorite games back then. But yeah, I have played the Atari, but obviously I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with the PS1 and 2.
hmm
Yeah, that's my favorite game and console that I started on.
So where did you go from there to get to where we are now?
I don't know, to be honest.
You don't know? I forgot, it's all a blur.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where your mum says, "Do you remember when we went to Disneyland?" Nope, not at all.
We did what now?
I had experience like that.
That's funny. All right. Well, I think we're just about at that 2-hour mark. So, anything else that anybody wants to share? Anything that they got going on? Plugs, projects, or activities that they got happening in the next week or so? Anything at all?
I'm sure. John will be streaming on his normal times. I will be streaming my normal times, and Bill and Rob probably.
Yeah.
Not streaming.
Not too much, but you know.
You know, maybe the occasional.
You might
So
see me
I-
once a month.
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
once a year.
So I will say I did have a friend of mine encourage me to submit a couple episodes of my podcast to a Deserto. I did send those in. I sent them to the managing editor of a Deserto. Haven't heard back yet, but my friend is a reporter for the Esports Observer. He's been a journalist slash a creator for a while in the gaming industry, and he encouraged me to do this. He said, "Hey,
Oh.
this person who is the managing editor of this major website is expecting your email," and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh.
then I better send it, shouldn't I?" So
Interesting.
so I sent over like 4 or 5 episodes of my podcast, and the one I did recently, the one where I talked to an esports org owner in Zambia. She's been doing a lot of awesome things over there. I sent that. I sent a couple others. So I was waiting to hear back. So
Yeah.
I do have a project I actually could shout out real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
do it.
I'm making a D&D campaign. John is going to be my
Oh
my
yeah.
players.
Oh yeah. It's
And
gonna be my first Dungeons and Dragons experience. See, I'm expanding my gaming portfolio.
Yep, it's going to be a custom-made world I've created and written myself. And John's first time playing, and we have 2 veteran players and another new player to D&D joining us. And John will be streaming it potentially.
Oh, nice. See,
So-
so I'm old enough that I played D&D with all the books.
I have a lot of the books, honestly.
Yes, I used to have them too, and I got rid of them. But yeah, I'm old enough where you actually had to roll the dice and write out your character on a piece of paper. Yeah, that.
Oh
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
I have my dice tray over here. I'll be rolling
Oh.
real dice during this session. They get virtual. I get the real ones.
Nice. I like that. That's good stuff.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I am. I still need to make. I have one character. I need to make another one, but
I need
we'll
you
get
to
there.
finish your background for your first character first.
Well, we'll see.
Make the second character, see if you like the class better.
Yeah. All right. Well, what is everybody's streaming schedule this week? What's your streaming schedule, Ash?
Usually between 5 and 7 p.m. GMT is when I start, and then I just go for how long ever I need.
Fair. Seems fair. What about yourself, Bill?
I have I've adjusted my streaming schedule in the new year. I do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday about 8 p.m. Pacific time, and then Saturday between 6 and 7. I usually run for about 3 to 4 hours. So
Okay.
oh, and I do stream Wednesdays Warzone on my org channel. So I'm a I should call it a partner for an organization called 99 Nights. They're a competitive / a creative org, and I stream Warzone for them.
So I was watching that on YouTube. Does it go out
Yeah.
to YouTube and Twitch, or is it?
It is just YouTube.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
That works for me. And then I'm streaming right now 9 to around 2 o'clock in the morning Central Time.
Sometimes later, depends on how
Yeah,
deep you're in.
sometimes later. Oh man, so that's quite tired this morning, but that's okay. And we're doing about 2 hours of Warzone right now, so we're kind of splitting it between a competitive online game that we could play with friends, and then after that we're going into Dark Souls until we get done, and then maybe who knows what we'll do after that. So this has been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it, and if anybody wants to play Warzone with us Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock Central Time, so hit me up.
If anyone wants to help me carry John through Dark Souls from on PC, just let
Yeah.
me know in Discord.
Also that's another option.
There's an option. Okay, alrighty.
And yeah, we'll be doing podcasts every Saturday around 10 a.m. Central Time as well. Every Saturday. I'm not gonna skip and do like once a month like I've been doing. So anyways, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Good to see people. So thank you all for joining. And yeah, we'll see y'all. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.